Let me briefly ask you about obscenity enforcement. How is this administration enforcing federal law prohibiting sexually explicit material that meets the Supreme Court's definition of obscenity?
Well, there is a section within the Justice Department, the Child Exploitation and Obscenity section, that handles these matters. The people who are there are career employees who have worked under Republican as well as Democratic attorneys general, and I think who do a good job.
Well, I ask you this question. I asked this of your Republican predecessors because, in my judgment, they took a misguided and narrow approach to law enforcement in this area, so I'm concerned. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, I was just saying that the responsibility for the enforcement lies in that area, and I think they are quite aggressive in the prosecution, detection of these materials with a focus on, I think, child obscenity, which does not exclude other forms of obscenity that they can look at.
Yeah, but there's been a pattern at the Department of Justice to prosecute only the most extreme obscene materials. Now, this particular type of material may virtually guarantee a conviction, but it's not the most widely produced or consumed, and therefore its prosecution may have very little impact on the obscenity industry. So that's what I'm concerned about. This approach of moving the prosecution line out to the fringe signals that material that is just as obscene, though less extreme, is let off the hook. And I believe that approach is misguided and contributes to the proliferation of obscenity that harms individuals, families, and communities. So I'm very concerned about it, and I hope you'll really take a real look at it, because currently there is an obscenity prosecution task force at the Department of Justice. Now, will you allow the director of that task force to enforce federal obscenity laws without restricting them to the most extreme obscene material?
Well, we will certainly enforce the laws using the limited resources that we have and go after those cases that I think, as we always do, have the potential for the greatest harm. There are First Amendment considerations that have to be taken into account, but that does not mean that we will not be serious about the enforcement of those laws.
Okay.